Are you in your first trimester and the fatigue is starting to hit you really hard? In this video, I wanted to talk about a couple signs that you should keep pushing through even when you're tired, or when you should listen to that cue to really rest. My name is Robin, and I'm a birth doula and a movement educator in the Seattle area, and I'm excited to talk about this topic with you. I think for most people, regardless of if we're pregnant or not, there always comes that time when our bodies are signaling to us that we are exhausted, we're tired, we just need to rest. And a lot of the time, this is really important to start to listen to, is to actually allow ourselves to rest when we are feeling tired. However, it can sometimes get to the point where we're so tired all of the time that then we don't end up doing anything. And with that, that encourages more and more fatigue and tiredness. So it's really tricky to know the middle ground of when to rest and when to work. I kind of like to follow something with the idea that once something has become kind of habitual and kind of a pattern, and I've noticed it for more than 3 days, that's when I know, okay, a part of me has to kind of challenge myself and be a little bit uncomfortable to push what I genuinely feel like doing. So in the terms of pregnancy and with fatigue, most likely that fatigue is going to be there every single day. There might be moments that it just hits you like a wave and all you want to do is lay down and sleep. Now, if that's the case, please lay down and sleep. Your body is doing so much right now that sleep is actually the most productive and beneficial thing that you can do, both for you and your changing body and for baby. However, if this starts to become day to day to day to day, we might start to challenge just a little bit to adding some sort of movement into your day-to-day routine. So you might start out with just 5 minutes a day of dedicating yourself to some sort of mobility routine. That way you can keep your joints fluid, you can keep your muscles moving, and you can maintain your mobility, which will really help decrease the level of back pain and other sorts of aches and pains because of being a little bit more sedentary in these next 3 months. Another thing you might start to add on is then adding in a certain amount of days a week of some cardio or some sort of slower cardio, like walking or swimming or even a dance class. Something that keeps your heart rate up to like a talking pace so that you're feeling elevated but you can still talk. This you will most likely increase your energy. So you really probably won't feel like walking right away. But if you do little things like take a phone call with a friend and walk for that 30 minutes of the phone call, or invite a friend to go out for a walk, or listen to a podcast on pregnancy or whatever you want and set a time to just walk. If you're starting to do this, it really will help some of the like overarching wave-like fatigue moments that then are just extended throughout the days. Another piece is regulating your hydration and your eating. I know right now it's tricky to find the type of diet and the balance of eating that you did before you got pregnant if you are experiencing a ton of nausea. So I do get that. I never want to speak to anybody like you should do this, this, or this, because everybody I know is dealing with very specific things, and that's where hiring somewhere like a birth doula or someone like that can kind of help you plan out what would work for you is always a great idea. However, generally what I like to recommend people do is take very short and small meals throughout the day. So rather than eating that 3 meals a day of lots of calories that is going to like spike your blood sugar and then drop throughout the day, if you eat 4 to 5 really smaller meals that contain your carbs, your protein, and your fat, so never just relying on just carbs, even though I know that's sometimes all people want to eat at this stage, but seeing what types of protein that you can stomach at this time If it's not meat, if it's not eggs, you might try some sort of a protein powder. You might try some sort of yogurt or cheeses or things like that. So kind of play around with finding what works for your body. In this way, eating these smaller meals throughout the day, it keeps you nourished, but it also helps regulate your blood sugar so you don't get those huge crashes throughout the day. Same thing goes for hydrating. So making sure that we're hydrated throughout the day will also help with that fatigue. And so I like to have like one of those huge water bottles. For some reason, drinking out of a straw really works for me. So if drinking water is hard for you, maybe try finding a new water vessel that does work for you, and then we'll drink that throughout the day, which can really help with some of those lower levels, making sure too that you're getting those electrolytes into to replenish anything you're losing in sweats or sleeping or anything you do throughout the day. Alrighty, and lastly, if you are on some sort of a training program and you want to keep working out, you want to keep lifting weights, but doing your typical 1 hour, 1.5 hour sessions, just you can't do it. Rather than just saying, I can't do it, screw it, I'm just gonna sleep, maybe try shortening your sessions to just 10 to 15 minute sessions at a time. You might do like one exercise with a couple reps, and then just trying that throughout the day. So doing like a short little stint in the morning, afternoon, and night. That way it's not so overwhelming right at once. And lastly, I always just want to remind people that it's okay to rest and to do less than what you're used to at this time. Staying active and moving will help, but at the same time, knowing how to allow your body to rest is also really important. So if you're one of those people that it's really difficult to rest and you have high standards, seeing if you can take this time to find a little bit of grace as just this short season of life is approaching where rest is actually really productive in this case. If you have any questions about any of these things, or if you have one thing that I didn't mention that works for you in your first trimester, we would love to hear it down below so you can share with everybody else. If you're searching for more support in this first, second, and third trimester, you can click the link down below, and I have a free resource for you that is including movements, education, mindset, meditations, all those wonderful things for free down below. So feel free to download that as another support for you in this big transition of time. So great to see you, and hope to see you in the next one.